Hey everyone, welcome to SFDC Stop, and in this video we are going to see how we can render a list in LWC, right? So what we are going to do, we are going to use the SLDS vertical list code to have a look at how we can create lists by using the SLDS library, and we are going to dynamically create a list and display the list here, right? So I have created a component named as persons list, which will show the list of persons. So let's move on to our component, and right now it's an empty component. It doesn't have anything. It just has a lightning card with a title named as persons list, right? So inside this card, I'm going to show a list of persons by using the code which is there in Lightning Design System. So I'm thinking of creating a list as this. Let us check what is there. We have an unordered list with the class as SLDS has dividers around space, and then we have multiple list items with the class as SLDS hyphen item, right? So we can do the same thing here. In the lightning card, I can have an unordered list with the class is equal to SLDS has dividers around space, and inside this we can have multiple list items. So let's say our first person name is Richard Hendricks. Okay, uh, and I have around four more persons where my second person name is Monica, my third person name is, I can say, Alec Bachman, right? My fourth person name is, let's say, Dinesh. So right now I can consider that I have four persons, and all these list items have a class, and that class is nothing but SLDS hyphen item, right? So this class is also we have seen it here. So this is the SLDS hyphen item class that we have to use in our list items, right? So if I see right now, I have a person's list with four items: Richard Hendricks, Monica, Alec Bachman, and Dinesh, right? And I think I can add some padding over the list so that it's visible clearly. So I can simply add SLDS hyphen p hyphen around underscore medium so that I have a medium padding for my unordered list. So if I refresh this component, I can see that now my list is visible very clearly. Okay. Now, what we want to do, we want to iterate a list of items which is there in our JavaScript, because let's say you are dealing with an Apex controller and you are fetching the data within a list of contacts and you want to show that list of contacts out here, right? So you have a list that is coming as a JavaScript array, and you want to iterate that JavaScript array and show it over here, right? So let's see how we can do that. Let's say I create a new array named as persons, and this persons array is going to have a number of person. So this is the first person, then we are going to have a second person, then we are going to have I can say a third person, and then we are going to have a fourth person as well, right? So four persons are there, and I can say each person has an ID and a name, right? So first person ID is one, and the name of the person is nothing but Richard Hendricks, right? So Richard Hendricks, okay. Similarly, I can have multiple persons with ID2, with ID3, and with ID4 as well. So I can say that this is having an ID2, this is having an ID3, this is having an ID4, and if I check out the names, my second person name is Monica. My third person name is, I think, Alec Bachman, and my fourth person name is, if I see, it's Dinesh, right? Now, what I want to display this list of persons which is there in my JavaScript by using this HTML, right? So what I can do, first of all, I can use a template tag, and in this template tag I can mention for colon each. So this attribute is used to iterate over a JavaScript array, and we can pick each and every element from the JavaScript array one by one and display that element, right? So I'm going to refer a JavaScript array, and in my case the JavaScript array name is persons, right? So I'm saying that for each person, I'll assign that person. So I'm using for underscore, sorry, for colon item here, and I'll assign it to a variable named as person, right? And then I'll close this template tag. So what I have done here, I have basically kind of, you can say, initialized the for loop kind of thing, or I can say I have made a loop over here in which the persons array is taken into loop one by one, and each person in my person array, or I can say each object of my person array, or each element of my person array is assigned to this variable one by one. So if I have a persons array like in which I have four persons, so each time each object is assigned to a variable, and that variable name is person, right? And inside this template I can simply do something like person dot name. So it will automatically show the name of the persons that I'm having, because each time each element of my array, which is nothing but an object, right, is assigned to a variable which is nothing but person, and then I'm using the dot name annotation to use to display the name of the person, right. So my person's name will be displayed one by one, because all this array is iterated and each time each person is assigned to this variable and I'm displaying the name. Let's see. So here you can see these names are displayed by JavaScript, which is nothing but Richard Hendricks, Monica, Ulrich, Bachman, and Dinesh, right? But what I want that these names should be displayed under the list items. So I can simply delete these list items, and instead of that, I can create a list item over here, and I can close this list item after the person name, because this is the content of my list item, right? And whenever you are kind of having a tag inside your template array, or I can say inside your for loop, it is necessary to give a key to this list item. So as you can see, we are getting an issue that missing key for element li instead of iterator. So whenever you have anything inside your iterator, it is very important to give a unique key to the tag which is just following your iterator, right? So that is why we have kept an id over here as well. So I can simply say that my key for each person is nothing but person dot id, right? And that's it, right? So I can display a number of list items where each list item has a key of person dot id, and each list item has a value of person dot name. Apart from that, I think we should have a class as well, which is nothing but slds hyphen item. So this is the same class that we picked up from slds, and I have applied that class here. So if we go down here, we can see in the preview that we have our list displayed: Richard Hendricks, Monica, Alik, Bachman, and Dinesh. And this list is coming from our JavaScript array. So let's say I add one more item in our list, named as, let's say, ID as 5, and name as, let's say, what can I do here? I can take it as Jin Yang, okay. And if I go to my preview, so I can refresh it again, and here I can see that list of 5 persons are displayed and the fifth person name is Jin Yang. So this list is particularly coming from my JavaScript array, and I'm iterating my JavaScript array by using the template for each loop, and where each element of my array is assigned to this particular variable, and I'm using the ID of this variable as a key, and I'm displaying the name of this variable in my list item. So it doesn't matter how many tags you have inside this, you don't need to specify a key for each and every tag, but for the parent tag, or I can say the tag which is directly following your template, you have to specify a key for that, and if that key is unique, that's well and good. So that's a best practice to keep your key as unique, otherwise you may run into problems. So we have seen one kind of problem when we are working on our to-do list component as well. But yeah, you should have a unique key following for the following tag, which is just after your iterator, right? So this is how you can iterate a list of items. And the last thing that I want to show you about this is that you can also specify or identify the first and last element of your list when you are iterating a list of elements in your HTML, right? So for that, we have a particular kind of attribute. Let's see how we can do that. So in case you want to find out the first and last element of your list, you can do that by using an iterator, right? So this is one way of displaying a list by using a for each loop. I'm going to comment it for now, and I'm going to show you another way of displaying a list by using an iterator. So what I can do, I can simply do it like instead of using for each, I can say iterator colon person is equal to persons, right? And I can simply keep the other things as it is. So instead of using for each, you can also use an iterator. And when you are using an iterator, it gives you the flexibility to highlight the first and last item in your array. Let's just check out our component first of all, how it's looking. Okay, so we have a very small issue here, I guess. Okay, so it is telling us that person is not defined. Yeah, so one more thing that we need to take care of when we are using an iterator, that you cannot directly use the ID and the name or any kind of values from your array elements when you are using an iterator. You just need to use a syntax like your iterator name, which is nothing but person here, dot value, and then dot id, right? So every time whenever you are referring to your iterator, you need to pick up the value of the iterator. So I can say person.value.name. So this will work, right? Let us just check out our component. So here you can see now I am able to display the list of persons, and by using person.value.id and person.value.name, because this is not the this is not something that each person is assigned, or I can say each element of the array is assigned to this person variable. This is just an iterator, and an iterator is nothing but a pointer to you can say the array element. So I need to pick up the value from that particular pointer, and then I can refer to the id, and then I can refer to the name of the iterator value as well, right? So this is how I can display the elements by using an iterator. And here I have a special kind of property, that is I can also highlight the first and last item of my array. So let's say I have a very simple requirement that I want to highlight, or I can say I want to change the color of my first and last item, the text color of my first and last item to red, right? So I can do that. Or let's say we are saying that I want to show the first and last item of my list in red, and I want to show the other items in blue, right? So we can use the if true and if false here, both the cases. Let's move on to our code, and here you can see we have a single list item where we are showing that this is the person ID and this is the person name, right? So what I can do, I can simply cover it by a span, and I can say that let's say if colon true is equal to, what is our iterator? Our iterator here is person, right? So if it is the person dot first, so I can say if it is the first element of my array, then I'm going to say style is equal to I can say color colon red. Okay, so I want to apply red color to the value that I'm displaying out here, right? So it is going to be a list item definitely. That is why I need to take it out. So let's take the list item out, and inside this I'm going to define a span, and I'm going to take the list item out again, right? So this is how it will work. Let's take the span here, and that's it, right? So what I'm doing here, I'm saying that I'm iterating all the list items, definitely all the persons, and I'm checking that if this person is the first person, I'm saying that the color is red, okay? Otherwise I'll say that the color is blue. So I can add another span over here. Let me just copy this and paste it again, and here I can say that if it is not the first item, so I can say a false here, then the color should be blue, right? So I can simply say color is blue, right? Similarly, I can add one more span where I can check that if it is the last item, then again the color should be red. So in case the item is the first element in the list, the color should be red. In case the item is the last element in the list, which is this, the color should be red. And in other cases, when it is not the first element and it is not the last element as well, the color should be blue, right? So I think I need to check out the first and last both the cases here. So for now, what I can do, I can add another span over here where I can check if colon false is equal to person dot last, and then I can say that the color should be blue. So in case it is not the first element and it is not the last element, I am saying that the color will be blue. And in case it is the first element, the color should be red. In case it is the last element, the color should be red. So I think I should have a list where all the elements except the first and last element are blue, and the first and last element should have a color as red. So let's preview our code, and here you can see the first element in the list is having a color as red, the other elements in the list is having a color as blue, and the last element in the list is having a color as red again, right? So this is how we can iterate a list, and we can use the person dot first, or I can say the iterator dot first and iterator dot last values to check out that if the list item is the first element in the list, and if the list item in the is the last element in the list, right, or in the array. Okay, so this is how we can use it to apply some different kind of CSS, and I think that's all for iterators and using or displaying a list in LWC. I hope you like this tutorial. Let me know your feedback in the comments down below. I'll share all the code of this tutorial in the video description, and I'll see you in the next video. Till then, have a good day. Bye bye.